So like I mentioned before, to do a Dolby Atmos mix, you first of all have to do your stereo mix and master, and then export all of the tracks in your stereo mixing and mastering session with the plugins baked in. Personally, I like to separate all of the time-based effects. That means I like to export my reverb bus and my delay bus separately, so I can have them as separate tracks and also just place them at different positions in the room. Although if you export your vocals with the reverb and delay and everything, it still works, because I've done a lot of dope mixes in Dolby Atmos and I got the vocals with reverb and everything, you know, baked into it. Normally when I mix a master, I like to use two reverbs. I like to use a room reverb and then my main reverb. So for this Dolby Atmos mix, I've placed the room reverb towards the front of the room. I'm very sure of that. Yeah, so let's listen to that. Right, and then the main reverb, let's see. Right, so I placed this one just a little bit behind my ears, right, and then I increase the size so that the reverb can spread towards the front channels and then the back channels, you know, and also go to the high channels, because I increased the height of the room reverb to about 50%, right? So it feels like the reverb is like floating above me, basically, you know. And then I think I put the delay at the back of the room. Let's listen to that real quick. Let me unsolo this guy. Right. You can see that in the renderer. So the reverb is playing behind me, behind my ears. All right. Sounds really nice. In my opinion, this configuration, room reverb in the front of the room, main reverb in the middle, spread out, and the delay at the back of the room creates a very nice immersive bubble in my experience. And I like the way it sounds. I mean, let's listen to it together. If I put in the... Sounds really nice. All right. What else did we do here? And then what I do with the rest of the vocals is this. I put the main vocals in the front, left, and right channels, right? And then I'll bring my backups to the middle of the room, right side surround, left side surround, and also I'll place some at the back of the room. So it feels like the singer is singing from all over the room. Berri, Tiga, right, so this one I've sent this one to bed channel and I've placed it front, left, and right channel, right? Straightforward. This is an intro chant that's played in the background. Listen to that. I'm actually doing something very fun with this intro. I've automated the intro to go from the back of the room to the front of the room. So let's listen. So you can hear it move from the front of the room to the back of the room, just, you know, as it's going left and right. That's it in the renderer. Oof. That's actually very nice. So elements like this is what I'll usually move around in the room, because they're special effects and you can use them to like create some very dramatic moments in the Dolby mix. Let's look at the rest. Yeah. Right, so that one I've placed it right in the front of the room, left and right channels. Yeah, very straightforward. We have these other crowd vocals, right? This first one is right in the front of the room. The second one is in the middle of the room, right? And then I've increased the size. And I'm sure the third one is also exactly right at the middle of the room. That's really nice. I also increased the height of the crowd vocals, so it feels like this crowd is singing down on you as you're listening. So you have the crowd vocals on the high channels as well as the front, left, and right channels. You understand? Creates a very nice, big, immersive feeling when you listen to that section of the record. I'm sure this is one of the ad-libs. Yeah, so this is Tekno's ad-lib. What I'm doing with this one is very simple. I've placed it on a bed channel, right? But then I've done automation so that the vocal is moving from the left side of the room to the right side of the room. Let's listen to that. Right. Actually, so much fun. I'm sure I'm doing the same thing here. Okay, so more of his, more of Tekno's ad-lib, but I've also placed this one on the bed channel as well, and just playing from the left and the right channels, right? That's it. So the same thing with the rest of these other backups and ad-libs, right? I place them on the bed channel and then I've panned them to different places in the room, right? Just to make sure everybody has its own unique space. What's this? This is the lead, I think. Ball, me the ego plenty surplus. I want to play me a one ball. Right, this is Berri's lead, and I've also sent it to a bed channel, playing from the left and the right channel as usual. Yeah, in my opinion, that's the best place to place your lead vocal. But to be honest, you might want to experiment. You might decide you want to bring your lead vocal into the middle of the room and it might sound great. But for me, this is how I like to work. What's this? This is okay, this is another Tekno's ad-lib. I've sent this one to an object channel, and I'm also just like, right, automating to move from the front of the room to the back of the room. Again, to just keep the mix very interesting, right? Very, very nice. Most of this ad-libs and backup was already panned from the stereo mix, right? I've already done automations to make it go left to right. So being able to move it in the room, in Dolby Atmos, from the front of the room to the back of the room, just creates a very, very nice, interesting experience, if you ask me. Do you get? And also, it saves me time because instead of doing all of these automations to make it go left, right, front, and back, I'm just only doing front and back. And then it's working with the stereo motion, which is actually quite cool. If you jump to Tekno's vocals, plenty surplus. Same thing, right? I always send all of the lead vocals to the front, left, and right channels, whether they are in a bed channel or on an object channel. You look like we're high fashion. You look like the buy mansion. Right, so let's talk about my binaural setting. If you notice or if you listen carefully, you would hear that all of the vocals, especially the lead vocals, they sound very close to you, right? They sound very punchy, and that's what you want. To make sure of that in the binaural render, I've gone ahead to set all of my bed channels to near on my binaural settings. And because I did that, I made sure that whatever I'm sending to my bed channels is something that I want to sound near to the listener, right? It's something that I want to sound very, very close to the listener. So when you listen with your headphones, you really feel the vocal is close to you. Or if I send the drum there, it's because I want that drum to feel close to you. The rest of my object channels, I've set the binaural setting based on what that particular sound needs. There are some objects here I've set to mid. There's some objects here I've set to near. There's some I've set to far. So let's look at what I have in this 65 and 66 object real quick. Right, so this is my ice crash. Right. If you listen carefully, you can hear that it feels like it's coming from afar. In my opinion, that's a better way to represent the ice crash in the mix on your headphones. So that's why I've done that. If I change this from far to near, let's do that real quick. Accept. You would hear that the ice crash actually feels a lot closer to you. Now listen. Right. And same way, if I moved it to mid, it will feel like it's a bit farther from me. I can't remember the exact number, but I think it's about 20 centimeters away from you. I'm not sure. I'm going to check, but mid is just a little bit farther away from you. Right. And then far is, pretty much far. Far is like 3 meters away from you, I think. It's 6 feet. Right. So you can hear how this actually helps you with the perception of space in your Dolby Atmos mix, which is actually very cool. So this is a very good way to make sure that whatever I've done in my Dolby Atmos mix in the studio translates perfectly on the headphones. Because as you can hear, I've done some automation to make the riser move from the center of the room to the front of the room. Let's listen. Right. So setting the binaural settings to far for that instrument or for this riser helps recreate that same feeling. So when I listen with my headphones, I can actually feel the riser moving from the center of the room towards the front of the room. So it's a very good way to make sure your mix translates perfectly on your headphones. So it's very simple. Just set the binaural setting based on what you think works for your mix. That's it. That's everything I did for this mix. And if you're someone that is trying to get into Dolby Atmos or that is currently learning to mix in Dolby Atmos, I hope this gives you one or two insights or ideas that you can use for your own mix. It's actually not difficult. A lot of things you hear in Dolby Atmos sound strange, but over time you find out it's actually not that difficult. But it's a lot of fun for sure. Definitely. So that's going to be it for now. If you like this content as usual, make sure you leave me a like. If you have questions on Dolby Atmos, leave it in the comment section below. I'll do my best to answer to the best of my knowledge. And if you've not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. It's been a great year, man. I gained over 2,200 subscribers this year. That was dope. Yeah. Shout out to everybody subscribing and shout out to everybody liking, commenting, sharing. It's going to be an even greater 2024 for all of us, right? So yeah, if you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. And if you want to book my services for mixing and mastering in stereo, Dolby Atmos, you find my engineer's link below and then you get 50% off, right? Plus extra 20% when you use first booking at checkout. And also, if you've not streamed Project-Atmos by this time of the year, you should go down, look at the link and stream. That's obviously a timeless EP. So keep streaming. We still have to get to 1 billion streams at some point in this lifetime. All right. Yeah, man. So that's it. Happy New Year in advance to everybody. Let's hit the ground running in 2024. Okay. Let's crush all of our goals that we are thinking about crushing. Let's get up and do all the things that we want to do. Let's have fun and let's live life. All right. And let's all be dope. I shall see you on the next one. Benny Macaulay out.
Now what are they